Bessie, we are live. How are you?
Hi there.
Hi.
You look so
So,
professional, Ching,
oh,
and your
thank
your your
you.
whole production is very professional, and I get intimidated. I'm like, oh my god.
Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Ching Juhl. I have been hosting a live conversation with someone special for last, I would say, a year almost, and actually, last 2 years. Yeah. So, yeah, and today my guest is Bessie Du. We are talking to each other from far away. Where are you, Bessie?
I'm in cold and dark Germany.
I am in bright, sunny, and cold
in
New
in
York
New
City.
York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I envy you.
Oh, thank you. But we had a snow for 2 days,
I
and
read about it. I
yeah,
read about the
and
snow on the East Coast.
and I didn't really go out much. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to read a short bio of Bessie, and so you get to know who she is, all the materials, the bios, and also social media or maybe potentially website addresses, all going to be posted in the description below. All right. So Bessie Du grew up in Beijing and was educated in the US. She has worked for US companies and went back to China as a foreign journalist for German TV, BBC, and other channels. Bessie Du went full freelancer after the 2008 Olympics in Beijing and roaming around Asia. Since 2017, she has been working in Germany and continues freelance journalism work. Bessie produces multimedia stories, documentary films, and hosts podcasts. Her podcast, I Am Immigrant, 异乡人, tells stories of immigrants of Chinese origin that lives in every corner of the world. Being a normed, her favorite topics are immigrants and identity. She is keen on telling human stories from around the globe. Thank you so much. Beautiful. So tell us how we met.
Right, how we met, how everybody met these days at Clubhouse.
Yay!
Yay! Now, I haven't been on Clubhouse for a little while now, but I think at some point last year, I spent a lot of time in various chat rooms, and I noticed Ching, this very energetic and very outspoken filmmaker. So I said, I'm going to talk to Ching about her immigration experience for my podcast. And yeah, luckily she said yes. And then we did our episode, I think it was episode 7 or 8 of
Mm.
my program. And yeah, ever since then, I've been following Ching on her productions. And of course, I was very impressed with Young and Diary and all the awards that she has won.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was great that you approached me and we had this interview. So maybe later we can just show a little bit bits of that. So yeah, so tell us a little bit how you initially like have the idea of like becoming a journalist. Like, what did you do before that?
Right. I got my master's degree in English in Rhode Island. So after I got my degree, I worked in America for different companies and sort of roamed around. And what can you do as a Chinese person with an English degree, right? um,
Very nerdy.
you're like, well, I worked a lot at Chinese restaurants, that's for sure.
Nerdy.
uh,
Yeah.
but I did teach at Santa Monica College at some point. I taught English there for a few years. And then I think in 97 or 98, I decided I'm going to go back to Beijing, first of all, because my family was out there. I would really like to spend more time with them. And also, I thought there must be work I could do back in Beijing. So I went back.
Yeah. So now how did you hook up with a German connection?
Okay. Okay. Before the German TV approached me, I
Yeah.
already freelanced because
Oh.
going back to Beijing, having no contacts, and by that time I had been in America for about 10 years.
Mm.
So I had to start from scratch. I basically sent out resumes to different organizations where I thought I could be useful.
Mm.
And then the first organization that got in touch with me was actually ABC America.
Wow.
At that time, the Beijing bureau chief was very keen on getting, Chinese speaking helpers, basically,
Yeah.
news
Yeah.
assistant who had Chinese background, who speak the language, and who was also exposed to American culture. So,
Yeah.
colleagues for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they approached me, and I started freelancing for them. And at the same time, it's a small community. When other crews and other production teams come to China, they also sort of call me and say, "Oh, I know you're working part-time for ABC. Do you have time to work with us for a month, for 3 weeks?" So that's how I started until 2000, when
Mm.
German TV called and said, we're looking for a full-time producer for Beijing bureau.
Mm.
Even though the programs are done in German, our working language is English. And I thought, why not, give it a try. So yeah, that's how I connected with German TV. And
How
that's
did
why eventually I ended up here.
Wow. So how like when did you start to study German? Like your,
Ah,
education is in US.
Right. When I worked for German TV, right,
Uh-huh.
my German colleagues, they were learning Chinese on the side.
Okay.
Basically, the company says, get a tutor, we'll pay for the tutor, and you should learn Chinese.
Hmm.
I never thought about learning German, and then I thought, if everybody's busy learning Chinese, what am I going to do? They're not
Hmm.
hanging out with me. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, then I will take German lessons. So
Yeah.
I had a tutor back in Beijing and
Oh,
started German.
yeah.
But the problem back then is we travel so much.
Yeah.
I miss so many classes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, if you're away for 3 weeks, you come back and you say, oh, I haven't done my homework yet. I better not call the teacher.
Yeah.
So I was sort of, very half-hearted about
Yeah.
learning German.
Yeah. But try to study German. It's really difficult for me. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. No,
Yeah.
I actually did have to learn German when I moved here to
Uh,
Germany.
yeah.
So I went to the local school and went to these German classes with other immigrants.
Hmm.
And there are just people from everywhere in the world. It
Yeah.
was actually surprising how so many immigrants come to live in this small town in Germany, and I met a lot of people there.
I was in Germany 2017, I believe.
Hmm.
Everybody says don't go to Germany because uh your country got lots of immigrant 难民怎么说
Refugees.
refugee. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I went anyway, and I
Hmm.
didn't see any obvious problems or danger or homeless people everywhere. I didn't see that. So tell me a little bit about how that policy of accepting all the immigrant and refugees affected Germany's current situation.
I think in big cities, sometimes you have problems, but that's like, in every big city, you have problems with uh, petty crimes, with hate crimes, things
Mm.
like that.
Yeah.
In a small town like where I live, yes, we have refugees around us, but I haven't heard of any problems.
Mhm.
And the people that I went to German classes with, uh, they are all very kind, and
Mm.
everybody has some kind of sad story to share. But because we don't have a common language, our German was so mini. We try to communicate with each other with hands, with gestures, and with dictionaries. But still,
with the apps, translation.
exactly, with apps. But we managed to sort of, get a little bit of an understanding of our backgrounds, and we sometimes hang out. Even before Corona, of course, we would, have little parties, and everybody brings their own home cooking. It's fun. It's good. I enjoyed meeting them, and actually, surprisingly, they're not just people from Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. In my class alone, I think we have people from Thailand, Vietnam, India, and quite a few South American countries. So it's actually, really nice mix. And it's not just refugees, and there's a lot of immigrants. And I think what Germany is doing quite well is really make big effort to integrate people. The fact that they offer German classes to all of us, that's a start. And then they really try to find skilled work for immigrants and refugees. And I read a report not so long ago that 60% of Syrian refugees, 60% were integrated after the last few years, after they were first accepted into the country. So I think they're doing a good job.
That's great.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job.
Excuse me. Excuse me. So tell me a little bit about your work. That part of your work emphasizes on immigration, immigrants, and your theme of your podcast is called 异乡人, which is called I Am Immigrant. So tell us a little bit about that work.
Okay, that interest primarily comes from me being a nomad pretty much all of my life. I went to America about 30 years ago, and that was the first time I had immigration experience. And then I went back to China, which was really good because it's like, returning home with a new perspective. China was different, of course, but it wasn't so different that I felt like a foreigner all of a sudden. So that was a good time. But then after Olympics, we moved to Hong Kong. Even though we share the same culture, we still don't speak the same language. I don't speak Cantonese. We used to talk to each other sometimes with words written down. If we can't understand each other, we'll write the words. At least it's Chinese, we can understand. With one exception, once we went to film at the container harbor, the container terminal. And I said to the production assistant, I said, we need to wait and film the containers being loaded and unloaded. And he's like, container, what's that? And I said, 集装箱. And he goes, no idea. And I wrote it down, 集装箱. And he's like, still no clue. So finally something clicked, and he goes, oh, you mean 货柜? So in Cantonese, they don't say 集装箱, they say 货柜. So things like that, right? So I had to adapt and sort of, get myself established in Hong Kong as a new resident there. And a few years later, we picked up and we moved to Germany. And here again, I am, in a foreign country and being an immigrant again, starting from scratch again. So all of those experiences sort of, in a way, shaped me. They make me who I am today. But also there are just a lot of things I would like to share with other people who had similar experiences. my first idea when I came here after I met all these immigrants in my German class, I thought, it'd be nice to make a little film about people here, just follow them around for a day and put it together, and they can speak in their own language and I'll just do subtitle later, right? I'm just curious how everybody ended up here in the small town.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit and I couldn't go out anymore and I felt stuck for so long. I just... it was probably one of the worst time in my life. I just didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't know anybody here and I don't speak enough language. And then all of a sudden I thought, hey, with today's internet, with the technology, I can talk to people over internet. And then I can just, record and I do audio. If I can't do video anymore, let's just do some audio.
You can do it when you are in your pajamas.
Absolutely. Not on video with you, though.
I have to wash my hair for you.
I did too, for you too.
So anyway, so you start your podcast sometimes like March of 2020?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a real, basically, self-help tool for me.
Yeah.
It helped me it put me out of this dark cave I was stuck in for, a year or so.
Yeah.
I started chatting with people and then afterwards I edit. I have things to do now. And then their stories like yours, they got me thinking. So I had more things to think about, and instead of just sitting there looking at the rain and being miserable and being depressed. So that was a really good project. I have enjoyed it so much, and I'm going to continue doing that.
Yeah, that I definitely can relate to that. I don't remember the timeline. When did you do the podcast on me? Was it sometimes in April or May? Do you remember?
Something like that.
Yeah. So
it was quite early on.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna just share just like 1 minute of this. All right. Let's see. There's no date on it. Let me see. When is the date? Okay. So this is how I met Bessie on Clubhouse. I joined the Clubhouse sometimes in early March, and then we met, and then very quickly we hooked with each other, and then she did this interview on me because her podcast is called 异乡人, meaning I am an immigrant from so it's her topic is mostly all that. So I'm just going to share a little bit audio, okay, since it's a podcast. Let's see, let me go in there, and this is number already 10 episode.
Wow.
Yeah, your episode's already 10. Okay, let's see. Okay, so
欢迎收听异乡人访谈，普通人的传奇故事，平凡人的精彩人生。
That is called professional.
陈清在上海音乐学院读了中提琴演奏专业，之后到美国深造。现在他是集编导、摄像、剪辑于一身的独立电影制片人。在美国30多年的生活中，他一直热心参与社区活动，逐渐融入社会。当华人政治家杨安泽竞选总统时，陈清以志愿者的身份加入来自美国各地的支持者群体，用镜头记录下来他们的各种公益活动。他的获奖纪录片《我的洋邦日记》得到很多的社会关注和反响。
大学毕业以后，我就直接到美国来了。我哥哥那个时候是在就是洛杉矶的南面。
Okay, so since we're speaking, this is all Chinese, so I don't want to bore you guys, but keep playing. So, but I just want to show that is a very professional looking podcast. You have an intro.
Thank you.
Where'd you get the intro music?
Royalty-free music.
That's the way to go.
So we kind of, went through one after another, and then we picked a few that had a little bit Chinese element, like Oriental element to it,
Yeah.
but not so like Erhu or something like that. But and then picked one that I thought fit in terms of length and theme, and
Yeah. So how often do you do this? Do you do this once a week or once a month?
In the beginning, I was very productive. I think I did like one a week. And then I slowed down. Toward the end of last year, I did other work. And also there was holiday. And then, of course, when the lockdown was lifted, I went out and had fun. So
you're unlocked.
Exactly. So I sort of slowed down. But toward the end of last year, I did quite a few sessions of interviews with Lily Lee Chan, the first Chinese American woman mayor of Monterey Park. So we talked for, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and every time 2 or 3 hours. So I have a lot of material to organize and to edit. I just put out one episode, and it's not just about her, politics and about her career. It's more about her as a person, about her life, and a little bit history, a little bit of humanity. So I enjoy doing that, and I'm going to do more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. So this is towards the audience. How do you develop your audience for your podcast?
That is a little bit tricky because I'm really not very good at marketing. I never was. As a freelancer, I never was a big salesperson. I didn't know how to knock on people's door and say, look, I'm available. Are you going to give me your job? Same with podcasts. Basically, this is for me and for people who enjoy the stories. That's what I want to focus on. First of all, it's about me enjoying the process. Second of all, is about me doing things that I care about. Then through this, I connect with people. And then if more people are interested, they will come listen. And I want to do a good job, and I want to make sure it's good quality. It's not just some, amateur production out there on the internet. I want this to be really professional. And then I'm hoping over time, people who enjoy this kind of story, they will come and listen. I didn't expect that, people just jump all over it and want to listen to it. So basically, I send it to friends, and family's friends. And basically,
like a Facebook, friends.
Exactly.
They can watch you.
But then there is a newsletter I was on. I think there was even there was this organization. I think it's called New Voices. They are female experts, journalists, storytellers, and they are all somehow connected to telling stories about China. And they have a newsletter, and they, in a way, mentioned my podcast and recommended it. So I think I got more people that come to listen to it through them.
So is your audience now mainly Chinese, of course, but can mainland China people search for your podcast?
I make sure I got on 小宇宙. Which is available in China, because before sometimes people say, oh, I have trouble opening your link. Or they say it takes a very long time to open this, and then people get bored and they give up. So now I have 小宇宙, and then people can listen to it more easily.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So now one more question about your podcast is, do you consciously looking for your people you want to interview to? How do you find your interviewee?
In the beginning, I started with my friends.
Just like me.
So I have a lot of immigrant friends, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I started with them, and then I met interesting people at Clubhouse. So quite a few interview partners came from Clubhouse, and you are one of them. And then where else? With Lily Chen, that's a whole different story. Sometimes I browse LinkedIn, just to see what people are doing.
Yeah.
For no particular reason. And
Yeah.
then I guess the algorithm, they push things to you, right? So I think sometimes I connect with people on LinkedIn because they are being pushed to me, and then I contact them. So I got a few people that I interviewed through LinkedIn, and then I saw on LinkedIn a message from Lily's daughter who says, we're looking for a digital storyteller to tell my mother's story. She meant people in LA because that's where Lily lives. And I just emailed her. I said, well, if Lily wants to talk, I can talk to her on the phone. Let me know. And then right away, she and Lily both answered and says yes.
Yeah.
So it's just, things happen.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So I can relate to the way you operating. I also started my this program called A Live Conversation with so and so. At the beginning, I interview my family member, my husband, my son.
Well, your son is great. I thought your son was like a star.
Thank you. And then I interview old teacher, and then I started to noticing people. I like to profile people who are doing something. They have messages to talk about. Either they are very active on Facebook, or later on, I start to get to know a lot of people on Clubhouse. So I must have interviewed, I don't know, like 15, 18 people from Clubhouse. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I continue doing that. So anyway, excuse me. So could we talk about your work? Now, not only you are a journalist and you're also making films, and also you make commercial products. So tell us a little bit about that, angle.
Okay. That would be my freelance career. First of all, that part we can talk about later. I used to cover China when I was based in Hong Kong because I had a certain level of understanding of Chinese society at that time. When people want to do stories or make films in China, they will contact me. So I would go and film in China for them. And then over the years, some of that skills sort of got lost because I think that physical distance, even though it's just Hong Kong, it's just 3 hours by flight from Beijing. When you're not there in China, your information gathering and your understanding of what's really happening there is compromised. So I can't really say, oh, I still know China the way I did before. I mean, today sometimes you see people advertising themselves as Chinese expert, and they would say, oh, let me tell you how China works. I can't claim I know how China works. I knew how some things worked in China at a certain time. So after a while, I sort of realized I had to reinvent myself, not just as somebody that covers China. And then, when you freelance, you just have to be open-minded, and you need to take in projects that pay the bills, first of all. But also, you have to take a project and make it interesting. I managed to do translation, media training, marketing research. I did all kinds of freelance work. And then when the corporate film idea came up, when people said, do you want to make this film? You just have to say, it's not just going to be a corporate propaganda film. And luckily, we had enough freedom to create. So in the end, we made a BBC documentary style film for this power company in Hong Kong. And we had a lot of space to create. We did a lot of research on historical archives, historical footage. And we managed to do a really good crafted production. And I thought, you can't let just the term corporate video define what kind of product you produce. You have to be, active and sort of make the best that you can.
Yeah.
So and so I did do quite a couple of corporate films with a small team.
Wow, that's wonderful. Could we view an example of your work, and then you can tell us a little bit more about what is that trailer is about? Okay, great, thank you. All right, so while I'm looking for this screen share, this is a live conversation with Bessie Juhl, who is a German she's from German-based journalist. And
other than the base, no more connection.
Oh, okay. And she's Chinese, just like I am. She was born in Beijing. I was born in Shanghai, and we are talking
about the same time, basically.
Yeah, same time, right? We're pretty much the same age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only 39 years old, by the way.
What?
I'm only 39 years old. So,
then.
Yeah, you too. All right, I'm going to take us out of this frame, okay, so we can watch this.
We are not just providing a product. We're actually there when people wake up in the morning. We're there when people go to sleep at night. We're there for all the important parts of daily life. Electricity is the first thing that has to go in with all of these infrastructure projects.
We care for the communities where we do business in, and we contribute where we can to the local communities.
China is now adopting the policy to support development of renewable energies.
We are making investments at that very leading edge of low carbon technology.
There is something unique about this company, a company with over 100 years of heritage, and yet which called Asia Pacific home. We do our little bit, not to take their traditional ways of life and livelihood away from them.
Ultimately, our goal has to be zero emissions. Our industry needs to think at least 50 years ahead.
I'm proud of Changlak's record. It has not been an easy task to think of the needs of the future. Historically, we have done this, and we will continue today.
Beautiful. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it was fun producing it. We got to travel to India, to rural part of China, and we got to work with crews from different places, and we had fun.
So tell us a little bit about who are the like a production company? Are they a Chinese production? They did a great, beautiful cinematography.
We basically worked with a Hong Kong crew. The guy who did all the drone shots. He is a very hardworking and very talented guy that we have worked with before. And then we worked with this very experienced cameraman in India. And then we didn't go to Australia. We just hired a crew. We just took their chance and hired a crew, and they did good shots for us also. What I liked about the film is, it's not just, propaganda for a company. It's not just, look how good we are. It's more about how connected they are with the community in which they work. They basically, a power company in Hong Kong, they share the history of Hong Kong, the post-war rebuild and the economic boom in the 70s. It all relates to the power. And so there are a lot of stories from the community members, and it's not just about a product that they get, electricity, but it's also their relationship with the company. That's what we enjoyed doing.
Yeah, that's very beautifully produced. I like the music and I like the narration. Is the female narrators you?
No, in the trailer, I think you had a soundbite from some important people in the company.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
But then, I did some voiceover for different, because they did different versions. They had Mandarin, they had Hindi, they had Cantonese, so we had different versions.
Yeah. So the ultimate the purpose of this video is commercial for getting more work done as an electronic company.
A power company.
Power company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have power plant everywhere in Asia and in Australia, in China also, and they're also committing to green power supply.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, but I think for me, the process is more important, and then to be able to produce something that's up to a certain standard, and that's rewarding.
Right. So tell us a little bit about currently, as a journalist, as a I would say foreign journalist living in Germany. What is your current, like, say, project, or what would you like to do, or you are doing, other than the podcast?
Well, what I would like to do is to make films. So when I have the opportunity, I will. But having come to Germany, basically, I really had to redefine myself, starting from the very, very beginning. It's not like going to America 30 years ago. At least I had the language when I went. And then I also at least had a goal. I had classes to go to, and I was young and I was curious. I had more of a purpose. And also people around me, they were more willing to engage. They were happier to be inclusive. So they would invite me to parties and to different events. They would introduce me to different people. They probably felt sorry for me, this poor Chinese that just came from China and fresh off the boat and clueless, and let's help her. But now coming to Germany 30 years later as an immigrant, it's very different. The neighbors probably think, why is this Chinese old lady arriving in our community?
You're not old.
So they're probably thinking, what's she doing here, right? And not being able to speak their language makes it's even more difficult. So I need to get myself oriented first, and then hopefully I get opportunities to produce films again. But one thing I did do last year, after some soul searching and after being frustrated for a long time, I kind of dug deep into my professional file and thought, what else can I offer to the society in order to be connected with them? And then I realized, that's right, I used to teach English and I can teach. So I got in touch with this language school called InLingua. They have classes in different languages and they have schools everywhere in the world. So I said, look, I can teach English to German-speaking people because I realized not many German speak English. And also for selfish reason, I thought, if I can't speak German well enough, let me train up some people so that they can speak better English.
Yeah.
So, so I got a job and started teaching English twice a week at this local German company. It's a biotech company, and it's very close to my house. And people are really smart. They're dedicated. They're scientists, especially at this time when they talk about vaccination and
Right.
and antivirus drugs. It's really interesting to have conversation with them. And they enjoy, speaking English. So basically, I'm looking for different ways to connect with the society.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So when you say you're thinking of making film, you're talking about making documentary or narrative?
Documentary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, see, I really envy you that you found that Yongan community. From that you can build on more relationships with people who have similar views with you, and from there you can professionally develop as well. I think you're lucky to have found this group and to be able to make that film.
yeah, I am. I find myself kind of stumble on this project and 3 years ago, and like getting to know these people I would never have connected before, and did not realize that world was existing or is existing. So I must have met for the past 2-3 years, probably met like more than 200 people, but like 100 people were involved in my film. So I'm very lucky, and we continue connect to each other. I would have a group podcast, like a showing on my channel, and we talk about things. Like on January 13th, I got together 10 of us celebrate Andrew Yan's birthday on January 13th. So I try to find a reason to connect with people, like a birthday, or when Andrew Yang suspended his campaign in New York mayorship, and then we talk about, we sort of consult each other. We had a therapy session online. Yeah.
To cry on each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's overall, the making of my Yangon Diary. By the way, I probably have told you I made this. I shot this my Yangon Diary on iPhone 11 in 1 year time, starting middle of the sometimes May of 2019, and then the film crossover to June of 2020, and then I edited a piece for about 8 months, and then took a year to let it run on a festival circuit. And now the festival is almost all over, and I decided not put the movie on distribution company. I want people to see my film now instead of waiting for another 6 months. Because if you're signing with a distribution company now, like today, you may have to wait for another 6 months for the public to see. So I want the piece out. So now my film is on Vimeo on demand, which means people can just go on there to watch it, pay a small fee.
Yeah, I think it's inspiring.
Oh,
and it's just that community. It's just, the enthusiasm of the people who participated in the project. That was very impressive.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So does your podcast have a website? Oh, okay.
异乡人.club is
Oh,
the
okay.
is the
异乡。
website.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in the, I think we have it in description. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me find it. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to transcribe the interviews, which was, original idea also. Even though we talk in Chinese, I will have it transcribed in Chinese and translated into English. And then I will have like a blog site so that people who don't speak English can also read it.
Oh yeah.
That might be, the next project.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I am thinking of transcribe my whole movie into not transcribe, working on, it's called closed caption. Closed caption. And that's Bessie's right now, her Twitter. Is it okay to share?
Of
And then,
course.
yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of followers.
Oh yeah, that's his
I'm
Twitter.
really bad at, sort of expanding online presence. I
Oh,
really
okay.
don't know, what
Yeah.
to do
I
with
live
that.
on I live on internet. I'm a homeless. I was telling someone yesterday. Yesterday, I was on a Twitter space, right? And a film festival director came in and she's like, "Oh my God, you're everywhere. You're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, TikTok, and now you're on Twitter space." I said, "I'm homeless."
Well, in Chinese, we call that 狡兔三窟, right?
是吗？
Like
我
a
不知道。
clever rabbit. The clever rabbit will have 3 holes.
Oh.
And that just shows that you're smart. You're
Oh.
clever.
Yeah, that shows I don't have a full-time job. When someone have a 9 to 5.
I think as long as you enjoy what you're doing, you
Yeah.
really don't need a full-time job.
Yeah,
I think freelance. I mean, I personally think freelance is a very good option.
Yeah.
If you don't have to worry about paying bills, raising a family. For one person, I think freelance is pretty ideal.
Yeah, I feel I don't really feel like I have nothing to do though. I'm always busy of doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in that sense, I guess I will always I started my my next film ideas. I'm already brainstorm myself, and my brother has been making me like kick my ass every time I talk to him. He thinks I should move on to the next project, which is true. Which is true.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Because if I don't
skills and you have,
no, if I don't keep creating, if I only stay in the place where I'm promoting my previous work, I think I will probably eventually burn down, because I can always hire someone else actually to promote, right? Because I know how to do it. Now my next work is to start to a new project, which I already know what I want to do. So that kind of creative process will make me grow. Right?
Yep. Always aim for something different, something higher, and just do something more, because you are already on the path.
Right. So what is the most what is the things that pull you back of not making a documentary you want to make right now for you? What is it?
Well, operating in a country that speaks only German, that is a huge obstacle. I mean, for me, making a film, making a documentary, it's not about, I have to create something, otherwise I feel like I'm useless. For me, the most important thing is to be able to connect with the society, with the community. And I'm just looking for ways to connect. It's not like when you're in China, especially working as a journalist, you roam around, you could chat with people. I always felt very closely connected with people I met, just, with people that you randomly chat with on the streets. That's something I really miss. When I worked in China, for example, I would like to go to Hohai area of Beijing, you know, when people just sit around and they play chess and they just, you know, chat and they do exercises. And I just, you know, go sit around and watch people. And I don't need to talk to them, but just by watching them, I feel like I'm part of something. I feel like I belong.
I definitely connect with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that kind of feeling I
Yeah.
just don't have anymore. And every time you move, you sort of, you know, give part of that away and hoping to, you know, make new connections. But I remember once going to Hohai with a news crew, right? I think that was before one of the major party congress. And we filmed, you know, this lively scene of everyday life, old people playing chess and with people like crowds standing around watching and giving unsolicited advice. And so it was just a lot of fun, right? And then as soon as I asked them questions about what they expect from the party congress, everybody was like, I don't want to talk to you, which is totally understandable, right? I'm like, you know, these people, they have gone through a lot in their life. And if they don't want to have anything to do with politics, I totally support that. And then this one guy, I said, you know, do you want to talk to me? And he goes, oh, I am old and my brain is damaged and my head trauma stops me from answering your questions.
Oh my
So
God.
I said, I think you have just won all those chess games, and I think you have made very smart moves on that chessboard. I don't think your brain is damaged.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So we had a good laugh, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we moved on, and
Yeah.
I said, have fun, enjoy your game. And
Yeah.
it was just a good time doing my work at the same
Yeah.
time, connecting with people that I can relate to. And when
Right.
they do tell stories, they remind me of stories of my parents' generation or
Right.
stories that, you know, things that we personally experienced ourselves.
Yeah.
That kind of contact is something I miss every time I move. Not just here, in Hong Kong also. More here than Hong Kong.
Yeah. Yeah. I can envision you making a documentary about immigrant from different countries, right? Even
That's something I really would like to do.
you can just start to talk to people on the street, you know, and like just don't think too much. Just like have a outline of what you want to do, and then just start to film. And are you into iPhone filming, or you have to use a fancy camera?
Well, somewhere in between. Well, that actually goes back to being a freelancer, right? And before, like camera work and sound recording or edit, none of that was the job of a producer, right? You just sort of organize things, you get people to interview, and then time changes. And even at networks, they don't have all these different people doing different jobs. It is sort of concentrated into one person. You have to film, you have to do sound and edit, all of that, which is, I guess, what you're doing. And for me, it's just so super technical. I think the technical part takes, you know, different part of the brain, and then the content and the storytelling part is a whole different side. So I really need to sort of think through what I want to do, and and then before I have conversations with people, I want to sort of prepare myself, and
You already know how to ask questions. You're a podcaster.
That's what I have developed, you know, over the years as a journalist. That's true. I ask questions. I'm just nosy.
I think it takes special skill to ask good questions.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I think I'm just nosy, and I'm
nosy.
I just like to, you know, chat and ask people about themselves.
Right, right. So yeah, I can see it's a very interesting piece, because Germany is so also full of different people in Germany, and you actually can, without going to another country, you can really do a really wonderful piece, you know.
according to official statistics, I
Mhm.
think over 280 million or something like that people all over the world, they live outside of their birthplace. And I read somewhere Germany is going to be sort of officially declared an immigrant country. Before it was, America, Canada, and Germany was an immigration country.
Yeah.
And I think they are going to get more immigrants, not just refugees as they did before from Syria and Middle East. They want more skilled workers because there's a huge shortage of skilled workers.
Right.
So there are going to be a lot more immigrants in this country, as I heard. So yeah, hopefully I get to connect with them.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing your work.
Yeah, I will definitely let you know.
So let me tell our audience, thank you so much for joining us. And if you can, consider subscribe to this channel, Juhl Media. I do this channel. I do 2 conversation and live conversations with guests from all over the spectrum. Today, Bessie Du, Chinese German-based journalist, is talking with me. Let's see. Wednesday, I'm going to talk with a American film distributor expert who lives right now in Uruguay. Yeah, near Argentina. So very interesting. And then next Sunday, I will be interview a filmmaker from India, but who lives in America. So I've been talking to different people. Yeah. So check this channel, and I hope you get to meet all my guests. And also, I periodically do other event filming. Like last Friday. Today is Sunday. I filmed an event. It's called Visual for Yao Pan Ma, because Yao Pan Ma is a Chinese gentleman was brutally attacked by someone has mental illness. So Yao Pan Ma eventually, after several months of in hospital, in a coma, and finally he died. So the vigil was to raise awareness for Asian hate or mental health problem. People need help, right? So it's a really nice. I made a 10-minute piece. Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you who are still there, please consider subscribe and also liking this video if you can. Now, have you?
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you considered doing a YouTube like this?
Like this?
Yeah. When you do your podcast, like simultaneously, you still do but you're videoing yourself.
Possible. I haven't really thought that far yet, but
okay,
it's good thinking.
Yeah. It takes very little to set up this. I can teach you. Yeah.
That'd be great.
You just use StreamYard, and then you just have a good lighting, and your audio sounds good. Yeah, your lighting could be a little bit better, but yeah, not bad. Yeah. So I thought it would be really nice. Okay, so it's at 5 o'clock. Do you have anything else we haven't touched yet? We're gonna do a rapid fire pretty soon. Do you have anything you want to shout out?
Not really. I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me and talking with our audience. And does anyone there has any questions for Bessie and I? And you have a friend, I believe this friend is yours. Danielle said, building rebound, you will have very strong foundations as well as the time coming. Spent a month to get in a group in English speaking countries, but in German, just be patient for that.
Yeah, I am very patient.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us. So anyway, okay, shall we do the rapid fire?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So basically rapid fire is like asking, like quick question and quick answer. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Red.
What is your all-time favorite 3 movies?
3 movies. Oh God. It doesn't- I watch so many movies, I don't remember the titles.
Oh, me too.
I really don't. I'm really sorry.
Now I find your weakness.
Actually, the most recent I watched was Don't Look Up. Have you seen
Oh
that
yeah,
one?
I saw that.
I really like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a good movie. It's a little bit too close to reality, but
It's
it's a bit
funny.
scary. But
It's a dry
it's a
sense
good-
of humor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like it too. It was like a big buzz, that week.
Yeah, I like that film.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now you have you were born in Beijing, you studied in US, now you're in Germany. So you're like very worldly travel. If you had a chance or time, if you don't have to worry about money, which country or countries you wanted to live or just visit?
Just to visit, I want to go visit Yunnan and Tibet in China. These are my favorite areas. I love Tibet.
Wonderful.
I would like to spend as much time as I could in Tibet.
Great. So now what book you recently read you really like?
I was reading a book by Lindsay Hilsum, the international editor of Channel 4 News. We used to work together in Beijing. She wrote about a war correspondent who died in Syria. And it just, gives you a lot of background of, what the war correspondents were thinking and what risks they were taking. And, I thought that was a brilliant story. And Lindsay was just a brilliant storyteller also. It's very enjoyable, very easy reading.
That's wonderful. What is your favorite cuisine?
Dumplings. Is that considered a cuisine?
Dumplings, yeah.
I like dumplings.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Do you eat meat?
Yeah, not a whole lot, but yes.
Yeah. I like to eat vegetables, but I'm not a vegetarian. Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah. So
I like fish.
Spicy or not spicy?
Spicy. I like spicy.
Yeah. So what else? If I would take you now to a coffee or bar, what would you like to order?
Right now, I would like a latte.
Latte.
Right this minute. Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
But at other times, I might want other things.
What is your favorite alcohol beverage? Do you drink alcohol?
Yeah, sometimes, very little, but sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Mojito.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah.
That's my
I'm
favorite.
very I am very I used to be I never drink, in China. Then I never drink for many years until I would say, I don't know, since I married to my husband who likes to drink red wine. So I'm a red wine drinker. Yeah.
Yeah, red wine is good.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for your health.
Oh yeah. So my son, not only he is a very good violist, and he actually is a barista. He makes gourmet coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, when you
I
say
have to
latte,
come visit. I have to come visit.
he'll make you a professional coffee.
Oh wow. There's
with like
something to
picture
look
on
forward
it,
to.
like with the heart on it or leaf on it.
Very, very professional.
Yeah, he's in the audience. Hi, Sean. Yeah, I asked him to watch us. Yeah, so he's very supportive of me and my podcast.
He's a good boy. He's a really good boy.
Yeah, thank you. So let's see. How about if you had a chance to have dinner with 3 persons, live or dead? Which are the 3 people you would like to have dinner?
That would make me cry.
Oh, don't cry.
No, I don't want to answer that. That will make me cry.
Oh, okay. How about living? Living people.
Living, my brother, my mother, a lot more than 3. My whole family.
Oh, by the way, today is Chinese 小年夜,
Is it?
right? Yeah, today
年
is
30
30th.
啊，
小年夜,
What's
right?
小年夜？
小年夜 is
The day before 30 or?
yeah, because
okay.
wait, right now is 30th, right? For us in China, it's already 31st.
Is it?
Yeah. In China, it's already
That's
大
right.
年夜.
That's right. That's right. It's 年30.
Oh, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Yay!
Yeah, I'm going
So-
to make dumplings now. I'm going to
Yeah,
make. I'm
yeah.
going to make jiaozi. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in China.
Yeah, so it's their 大年夜, right?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. 大年夜 means the New Year's Eve. Yeah.
New Year's
So
Eve.
Happy New Year to you. Yeah.
Happy
so
New
this
Year!
is the
恭喜
yeah.
发财
恭喜发财. This is the year of tiger.
of the tiger. Yeah.
Can I ask your Chinese zodiac symbol?
I'm a snake.
Your snake. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So does my grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, my
Yeah.
grandmother's
No, snake is a good sign. I get along with all the other snakes. So I would have got along with her grandmother.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So this year we only have 29th, no 30th. What does that mean? But still, it's New Year's Eve.
It is
Do we
New
have-
Year's Eve.
Do we have 39? Wait, I'm
But
confused now.
Maybe somebody is talking about Chinese calendar.
Oh,
So it's probably the 29th of
Oh.
December in Chinese calendar.
yeah,
right?
because
Right.
today is January 30th in US, in
Yeah.
Germany too. And
Also, yeah.
tomorrow is January 31st.
31st.
Yeah,
is,
that's
年
xiaonian.
30. Yeah.
I'm making hot pot for my
nice.
family. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
All you need to do is go buy all the stuff.
Yeah,
Then you
in New
wash
York,
it.
You
and
have
then you
all
put
the
it.
stuff you can buy. You have all these Chinese shops, right?
Yeah, we have Chinese shop.
Mhm.
They're not close to me though. I have to drive like 30 minutes
No.
to get my stuff. But
Mm.
but I have most of the stuff already. So all I needed to go is to get some vegetables.
Mhm, mhm.
And so we're
Nice.
just gonna do hot pot. Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah. Anyway, do you drink tea? What is your favorite tea?
Green
Black or green?
Green.
Green tea. Great. Yes. So it's been so fun to talk to you. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, we'll come visit you in New York
Yeah.
and get that gourmet coffee.
By then, you have to go to Pittsburgh because my son got a job with the Pittsburgh Symphony.
Oh, cool.
He's moving to Pittsburgh in June.
Oh, wow.
So he's gonna
Such
be
a grown
living-
up now.
Yeah, he's gonna be living there alone, and he's gonna make coffee for himself.
After a lot of practice, he'd be even perfect. He'd be even more perfect.
Yes, he will make even more prettier pictures for
Yeah.
the coffee. Yeah, so great. And say hello and to your family and happy New Year.
Have a great New Year celebration. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to us, and thank you, people, audience, for
Thank
watching
you,
us.
everyone. Yeah.
Yay! Spring leaves. Danielle, WP, Ching Juhl, and who else is there? Let's see. I think my husband is watching in our bedroom. Thank you, John, for watching. So, anyway, thank you so much, and
Thank you,
I'll
Jen.
see you maybe in Clubhouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll go
Okay.
to the clubhouse too.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Clubhouse every Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. We
Mhm.
talk about smartphone video production.
Good.
So
Then
maybe
I
you should
can-
come.
I can-
Yeah,
I
because
can join
maybe you can
more
use
easily.
smartphone.
Mhm.
Maybe you can use your smartphone to shoot, your
Yeah,
project.
that will make life much easier. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ching. Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year, 新年快乐。
新年快乐。
Bye.